Good afternoon. Myself Kirti Chandraul, Assistant Professor at Oriental College of Technology, Bhopal. Today, we are here to discuss about crop rotation, which is a very important for the sowing and harvesting of the crop in the land to maintain the fertility of soil. So, let's start the session. Crop rotation. Crop rotation is a repeated cultivation of crop follow in a certain sequence on the same land is called as crop rotation. Means here we are having few crops which are rotated sequentially on the same field. That is crop rotation. For an example, rice, wheat and moong. These three crops can be sown in the same field alternatively. It is the reverse of land rotation. Here, crop is rotated year after year. Definition of crop rotation. It refers to recurrent succession of crop on the same piece of land either in a year or over a long period of time. It is a process of growing different crops in succession on a piece of land in a specific period of time with an objective to get maximum profit from least investment without impairing the soil fertility. Means in the same piece of land we have to alternately rotate the crop for maintaining the fertility of soil, because if we are growing the same variety of crop it may extract more nutrition, it may extract the more advantages of the soil which will be harmful for the fertility. That's why we have to go for the alternate type of soil crops. Here we are having crop rotation among three, that is paddy, wheat and moong. These three crops can be alternatively used in the same piece of land. What are the principles of crop rotation? The leguminous plant are grown alternatively with non-leguminous plant to store the fertility of soil. In the rotation of crop, leguminous crop like pulse, beans, peas, groundnut and Bengal gram are sown after cereal crop like wheat, maize and pearl millet. When the sessile crop like rice, wheat, maize are grown in the soil, it uses up a lot of nitrogenous salt from soil. If another crop of cereal is grown in the same soil, the soil becomes nitrogen efficient. Means it's the same type of soil, it's the same type of crop we are using in the same land, it will extract the nitrogen components from the soil. So it will be the soil will become deficient in the nitrogen. So by rotation, a leguminous crop is grown. These plants have the ability to fix atmospheric nitrogen to form nitrogen compound through the help of certain bacteria present in their root nodules. These nitrogen compounds go into the soil and make it more fertile. That's why the rotation of the soil crop is required. This is the first type, that is called leguminous and non-leguminous plants. Next is exhaustive and less exhaustive crops. The exhaustive crops are grown alternatively with less exhaustive crops to restore the fertility of the soil. The crops which uptake in higher amount of nutrients from the soil is called as exhaustive crop like potato and sugar. Means potato, sugar kind of crops are exhausting more amount of nutrients from the soil. The crop which uptake lesser amount of nutrients from the soil is called as less exhaustive crop like oilseeds and pearls. Means again and again if the exhaustive crops are sown in the field, it extracts the nutrients from the soil. It becomes unfertile. That's why in the alternate process we have to use exhaustive, then less exhaustive, then exhaustive, then less exhaustive to maintain the soil quality, to maintain the soil fertility. Continuous cultivation of exhaustive crop in the same land leads to gradual reduction of soil fertility or nutrient status of the soil. Therefore, the exhaustive crop are grown alternatively with less exhaustive crop to store the fertility of soil. The next is the taproot crop are grown alternatively with fibrous root, exhaustive, less exhaustive, luminous, leguminous, non-leguminous. And the third one is taproot and fibrous root. Means the crop rotation should be done between taproots and fibrous kind of crops. The crop with taproot should be followed by these which are fibrous root system. This helps in proper and uniform use of nutrients from the soil. The roots do not compete with each other for uptake of nutrients. For example, rice and pigeon pea. Relative depth of the rooting for the various crops. Deep root crops are alfalfa, safflower, sunflower. The moderate rooting is barley, canola, mustard, wheat, and the shallow depth root is field pea, flax, and lentil. Principle of crop rotation. The rotation should be provided roach and pasturage for the livestock kept on farm. Therefore, fodder crop must be included in the rotation of feed the animal. For example, rice, black gram, fodder maize. These are the crop which can be alternatively used. On slopy alternate cropping of erosion penetration and erosion resistant crop should be adopted. Means in the slopy land we have to stop the erosion. So the erosion prevention and erosion resistant crops can be used. Example, maize. Maize is a erosion promoting. Cowpea, green gram is erosion resisting. Under dry land or limited irrigation conditions, the tolerance crop are used, that is jowar and bajra. In low-lying and flood-prone areas, water water stagnation tolerance crops are adopted like paddy or jute. The crop of the same family should not be grown in the succession because they act like alternate host for the insect, pest and disease pathogens and weeds associated with crop. The same I told, the same family plant should not be grown in the same piece of land. The variation, the alteration is required. That is called crop rotation. The selection of the crop should be according to the need demand base, that is according to need of the people of the area and family. Example, vegetables and flowers are grown in area closer to the cities for the higher income. It should be adaptable to the existing soil, climate, economic factor. The sequence of cropping adopted for any specific area should be based on the proper land utilization. What are the advantages of crop rotation? There is an overall income of yield of the crop due to maintenance of proper physical condition of the soil or its OM content. Means the if the crop rotation will be done, the yield of the crop will increase. Rotation of the crop helps in saving the nitrogenous fertilizers because leguminous plants grown during the crop rotation can fix atmospheric nitrogen in the soil, which will help for the nitrogen fixing bacteria. If we will if we will put the same family of the crop, that is called leguminous plants, then it will extract all the nitrogen from the soil, which will reduce its fertility. That's why again and again different family of the crop is required to maintain the atmospheric nitrogen in the soil. Rotation of crops helps in weed control and pest control. This is because weeds and pests are very choosy about the host crop plant, which they attack. When the crop is changed by the cycle is broken, hence pesticide cost is reduced. Means if the same type of crop is sown, the same type of weed or insects will come again and again. If we are changing the crop alternatively, then that kind of weeds and the insects will not come and damage the crop. That's why the pesticides required less, thus the cost of the pesticides will be reduced. There is regular flow of income over the year. Proper choice of crop in the rotation helps in preventing soil erosion. It supplies various needs of farmer and hit cattle. The crop rotation adds the diversity to the farms. What are the types and the rotations of the crop can be used? That is, like we are having 1 year rotation. In that we can use maize, mustard, rice, wheat. In the same land we can use alternatively maize and mustard, rice and wheat. For the 2 year rotation, maize, mustard, sugarcane, fenugreek seeds. That is called methi. Maize, mustard, sugarcane, and fenugreek. The second option we are having maize, potato, sugarcane, and peas. If we are going for the 3 year rotation, there we are having again rice, wheat, moong, mustard, sugarcane, and bersem. These are the crop which we can sow in the alternate process. The second option, the chain is cotton, oat, sugarcane, peas, maize, and wheat. These are the crop which we can sow alternatively to keep maintaining the fertility of soil. If we are not using that, the fertility of soil will reduce. That's why the crop rotation is very much important. Thank you. I hope you have understood the session.